stress during the apocalypse, these 8 years since COVID, we are having a wave of stress across the entire world, and we deal with stress all the time. And the funny thing is about stress, it is usually allowance to relax and do less. You might be doing too much, right? And you have to seek that allowance over and over again every single day because you have to respect stress, and stress allows you to do crazy things like approaching and confronting people that you have never fucking met because they cause you stress. And you can keep asking them no matter what the fucking answer is because you probably don't like that answer. You can keep asking them to stop or do even more than that. Get on your side. If you're fighting Ukraine and you're Russian, you probably want to get people on your side and transport to the side that's winning, not losing. If you're a submissive Asian person, not only you want people on your side, but you want people to use their intelligence to unshackle as many unnecessary responsibilities as possible, or maybe even escape the grips of the fucking Chinese world and censorship. You have to plot. You have to hang together, not just for one moment. Stress is the enemy that everyone understands. Funny enough. It just comes in different shapes and forms, but it's definitely demons, basically. So let's clean the slate and build a new matrix of what causes stress and how we can reduce stress. Oh, wait, I can't quite do that, but it's fine. We reset. What I need to do is make another sticky surface. So, what ways stress is caused, and what ways stress relievers. Great. Let's start with the most interesting one, the haters. And to each there is the antithesis, the opposite. To each cause there's a relief, right? And it's called punching them in the face. In where it hurts. Unfortunate. There's no other fucking way, dude. Not violence, by the way. Not violence. You cannot hit someone through the fucking internet, right? But when you're being harassed, all of a sudden there's a good case in court of like, even if you get jail cell, that's a win. There's no loss anymore. When you're being heavily harassed, there's no loss in whatever the fuck you're doing. You can choose their destiny, basically. Choose their destiny. Haters, you can obliterate the shit out of them in any way you want. You can use them, expose them, fucking treat them like ants. It's up to you. It's a fucking playground. They want to play, you can play too. That's right. And by force, you can force them to play in any way you fucking want because they really want to play. All right. Probably inspiration for a Saw movie. These creatures, basically. There is something worse. However, there is noise. What haters don't understand sometimes is they can actually turn into noise as well, which is a big blob of haters, a big blob of hatred. Now it's full of shit and they kind of defend being noisy, you know. They can try and fight back somehow, but because they stand out in such a significant way, they know why they're in trouble. Some of them don't even care. They just do it because they can, proving that they are a problem, a nuisance waiting to happen, a pattern of behavior that society does not want to have. And now solving this is a lot more complicated, unfortunately. And yeah, things get very fucking stupid when it comes to stress. Immediately, we're level 2, and it's like European most OP enemy is noise. There's 7 enemies, and there's technically different levels of how deep can you go in there without fucking dying from stress, because you can die. You don't have to die physically. Your sanity runs out, and all of a sudden you have to give something up, and then the demons will strike the same thing. They will repeat the same thing that worked the previous time, right? It's like, oh, you gave them a blowjob. Guess what's gonna happen next, right? They will repeat the same pattern until the same giving up sacrificial fucking move is gonna happen, and you can't do that. And it's literally the fucking demon comes up to me and is like, "Oh, you're not giving up," and he gave up. He gave up a lot more. All of a sudden, dealing with noise is already a nightmare. To some people, dealing with haters can be a nightmare. Like in America, people own guns. And if you have haters, you try to be nice to them because you never know when shit is gonna go boom, when school shooting is gonna spawn, right? But then imagine things get worse. We have noise. We have things that we cannot stop, and it causes stress, and it's not necessarily permanent, not necessarily every single day, and not even loud enough to stress other people or make them talk about the damn thing. But every single time you seek community, which is a crazy thing, because this is it's not available right now, and I have to be realistic of what is available. Because what happens in my life and in many people's lives when stress happens, morality collapses. People give in into the world of demons. The world of stress is the world of demons. Like, this is literally the fucking battle. So when other people give this magical advice, it's gonna be extremely fucking funny listening to them once again. In fact, stress can be your friend. Yes! Suck everyone's dicks. Become a slut. Give in to the demons, basically. Aren't you? Go ahead. We're gonna laugh, but we also gonna be like completely ashamed of this person who even said a single positive thing about stress, because maybe probably she never fucking felt any in the first place. Next is obviously work. Work stress, and unless you're Russian, maybe from these like other war riddled places, you don't know what work is. You have no idea what work is, because work is very different when you don't earn enough. Like Eastern Europe sort of gets the idea of what this is. Either you can't find it, like basically everyone is panicking about work, and everyone understands like that's fucking really, really complicated thing. And again, it can cause stress while you're working. Most people want to escape, and this is why like slavery happens in America and Western Europe, right? This slavery happens because a lot of people come from these places that they know work very well. and they get respected for it, and they get paid quite a bit. Yep, someone invaded my Discord just to get banned. It's just that easy. Yeah, literally, as I speak, I have to ban a fucking hater from my Discord. The Nerd City is attacking. What am I gonna do now? But it's just so unbelievable to me to like see like the zombie apocalypse of like people can't control themselves. They just gotta hate, you know? They just gotta fucking do that shit. And there's I don't have time to give benefit to the doubt and whatnot. It's like you can't do that. You just that's the only answer. And it's already like versus stress, you are using weapons of mass destruction, basically. There's no way around it. You have to normalize life to be able to live life. You have to come back to life. Everything will kill you. Everything here will kill you, bro. So, whatever the fuck this is, she's probably fucking dead already. If she said that. If she makes a shitty stance on stress, bro. Shitty stance on stress. You can't make that your friend. Like, it's impossible. It's the most mathematically impossible fucking statement. But hey, these fucking idiots want to take over the world, want to turn everything into zombie apocalypse. They want to side with stress, so you fucking lose. And good riddance, right? They're just selfish pieces of shit.
I have a confession to make.
You're a porn star and you suck many dicks.
My confession is this. I'm a health psychologist.
What the fuck is that?
And my mission...
What is that? Health psychologist, bro. Now, it is actually going into a right direction of, like, you have to life coach people to be healthy. You have to put them in the right mindset. But naming it health psychology, fucking hell, dude. Might as well just suck dicks at this point. Be a better human being that way.
And my mission is to help people be happier and healthier.
Sounds like the same thing though. Still like dick sucking fucking. I made you healthy and happy.
I've been teaching stress.
Yes, you better not stress.
For years, you sick. It increases the risk of everything from the common cold to cardiovascular.
Yeah. All the risks, bro. All the risk imaginable. Anyways, too much work will enslave you. Russia is the world of enslavement already. In China, it gets a little bit worse than that. In China, there's endless demands. This is why it feels ruthless in there. And I'm not even like talking about solutions yet. This is crazy. One solution is isolation. Whatever can mitigate noise, isolation from other people. And usually this is where you learn to ban certain haters at certain point without any ability for them to, you know, talk how cool they are or whatever. Demands. Why China is all about demands? Rules. There's many rules you have to follow. It's like you live in a house of cards where everything would collapse if you don't follow rules. People in recent times in Asia just got tired and try to avoid it as best as they can, try to pull that out. But it just makes it more apparent, I would imagine, especially in a COVID situation where the demands are absolutely brutal. Demand to give up, submit versus the authority, no matter what. It gets crazy. How do you defeat slavery, right? I think only do things that matter. And eventually gonna learn to break free, I imagine. Because if you start drinking or partying, you're just wasting time in any way just because you have extra time laying around. Sorry. It's not gonna work out. If there's work culture around you, you can do many things. In Russia, there's a money culture, so you can buy and sell many things as well. As long as you do things that matter and have value, you'll be able to get out of this work jail. I literally have to throw you the survival series unlocked insights. Like, these are fucking giant. We're fighting giant monstrosities. And the solutions to that are absolutely insane. Isolation? What, do I have to live in wilderness? Kind of. It gets fucking weird. Like, how much isolation do you apply to noise? Both of these are very extreme things that you have to, like, pull off. You have to survive until noise happens, investigate it fully, and then isolate yourself from it as best as you can. Any amount of isolation works, whether it's over time. You put one layer at a time on your wall, so it makes less noise. Or you, again, approach every single day, you approach people to try and stop them from doing the stupid shit. So in this case, haters are like the easiest thing to deal with. It is heartbreaking, by the way. It's heartbreaking to see human beings turn into fucking zombies. It's because it's easy, it's allowed, and it can get worse. You can become an enslaver of humans. You can be a dictator and hold power over humans. Enslaver doesn't mean you enslave them forever. You let them sleep, wake up. But when we're talking about like South Korea, right? They can't even sleep. The demands are so high, they can't even find time to sleep. That's like next level torture over just the regular enslavement. And it gets 3 more times worse. There's 3 more fucking hidden levels. There's Australia level. And now this is gonna get really funny, guys. Isolation. What just happened? How did that happen? Yep. Isolation. In Australia, there's a funny thing. The moment you ask for help, people will start isolating you until you die. The moment you show weakness, people will start cutting the ground beneath your feet and sending you fucking kangaroos and crocodiles to fucking eat you alive, basically. Australia is the fucking weirdest place on Earth, and it's like literally a survival simulation. So you cannot show weakness. You cannot show stupidity and recklessness. You cannot show bad traits and bad habits, because you will find enemies immediately. It gets worse, because we're digging into the world of demons. The craziest shit happens, And I'm still talking out of speculation because I haven't actually investigated Australia too much. I just have the vibe. I just know that we're doing crazy shit right now. So we probably just do the same thing, right? Only do things that matter. Should be on this side of the board, right? No. We just repeat noise. But we repeat noise in a way that noise is. Then you cannot decipher. At some level of stress where you can't understand anything anymore. You cannot understand anything. So now you try to find things that have meaning. Find something that is consistent. grasp for sanity. Wow, because if you lose that, it's over. If people trick you by gibberish, and if you attach gibberish too much meaning, they can just interpret whatever they want and lead you to whatever they want. They can just control you basically like a fucking rat that's gonna get killed in some corner of, whatever, right? Executed. And finally, the final thing besides Antarctica, because in Antarctica you die so in such an obvious way, I don't even have to describe it. Welcome to South America, where the world is upside down. Good is bad, bad is good. You never know who to trust. Everything is upside. It's not even gibberish anymore. All right? You would love to hear gibberish. You would love to hear gibberish because most of it would at least mean nothing, right? This is the world of upside down. Because you don't even know where you are. Find Waldo. You have no idea where you are. You're definitely not in your own body. You're somewhere else. And now you have to figure out where that is. That is the world of upside down, where the thing that you think is reality has to still be found. You still have to find all the pieces of reality of like, oh, this could be me. But you start with the me. Then you start looking for your parents. You have to piece everything together. Everything is just fucking shattered. Everything, all the privileges other people have in your upside down world is shattered, non-existent, until you find it and put it all together. In the world of gibberish, well, it's a quick death. In the world of upside down, someone will die in front of you and you will realize that was you. And now, who are you anymore since you died? The world of upside, the world of moon and aliens and weird shit. Fucking upside down. Find the person you're actually controlling because you cannot control yourself in the world of upside down. Someone else is controlling you. Like, this is how fucking demonic and crazy the world is gonna get. And it will stress you out the most when you can't even find yourself. When everything is detached. The world that we live in, you don't even understand how complicated it gets. You are privileged fools who speak English know that haters exist. And that's crazy, dude. But there are layers and layers of crazier and crazier things happening in the world that you would not be able to even comprehend if you have lived a privileged life. And maybe you shouldn't want to, right? We should all want to just become Americans, essentially. Slowly grow into that paradigm. Become a person that loves another person. They get together, and when they need adventure, they go lower, it's just for adventure, for tourism. Of course, I want to live in upside down. I want to find you one more time. I love you so much, I'll find you one more time. No problem. And oh, fucking crazy, dude. Upside down, inside out. Yeah. Fucking crazy. And I'm yet to actually discover all these things. When it comes to isolation, it is more like induced isolation by other people. You don't get to pick. In fact, all of these are induced by evil demons. All of these are weapons by evil demons that, again, exist in the world because that's how the world works. There are different regions of how much pain you deserve, and apparently I deserve a little bit more pain than Level 1. That's where I'm born. Fucking sucks. I had to learn English. That was the amount of pain that I had to go through, guys. And I still haven't relocated just because I learned English. There's something fucking clogging the system, guys. Fix your fucking shit, basically. Why am I not in America yet? Inflation? That sounds scary. That would scare me, actually. No jobs? That would scare me. Fix your shit. Jesus Christ. I don't want to be in this situation. I want to be in the middle of nowhere, building a house, living, eating potatoes, whatever. You know? Fuck it. So obviously, one of the greatest stress relievers is escaping to higher levels. That will always be a permanent thing, basically. You can either freeze or escape, right? That's the finale that overarches everything. You can freeze to death or escape death. Because that's just a never-ending battle of death always chasing you, stress always eating parts of you. But if you have lived in the Upside Down, you will survive, you know, the apocalypse and whatnot. At least you will survive all these stupid shit. So we have two gaps, right? We have Australia and China. I feel like, you know, talk to others is important. If you use isolation on in this case, it will be a problem. Only do things that matter, smart things. Isolation is like a rejection. So everything aligns. Punching is, uh, yeah, it's rage. You use rage to change things immediately because something is definitely wrong if you know hater approached you. I mean, you can probably fix that shit. Hopefully the hater's not in real life. Again, things get pretty fucking heated depending on power levels and everything. Versus isolation, again, not show weakness. I just told you guys what the problem is. But not show weakness is not descriptive enough of what's happening here. Let's call it build immunity. Right, build immunity. Now, it probably is pretty weird to do. But again, every Australian has to be respected. They're always not don't let Australians be isolated. That's all I'm saying. Well, when you're grasping for sanity, you want to make sure that uh, you have the same language. You speak the same language, and you're not fucking wasting time with weird sounds. This is kind of like the cleaning process. You gotta clean up anything that sounds like noise. You have a lot of responsibility in this case. Building immunity starts with like not taking risks, trying to live off the grid, and counting every single penny, observing every single thing that happens. You know, anytime someone gets in trouble, you have to learn from other people's mistakes instead of trying to be their enemy. You know, you would be wasting time. That's also, unfortunately, you know, a show of weakness. And it's the funny thing. It's like the domino effect of if you become a demon and you attack someone, then you're gonna be attacked eventually. It's just a matter of time. It's a fucking ripple effect. Or I call it the nesting doll effect, where if I hate on someone, then they hate on me. With their fans, potentially, a smaller and smaller creature spawns to be hateful, and until there's only a bullet left. bullet-sized creature comes out. Well, probably not. Probably just goes until it cannot go no more. And whoever is the last one to laugh, they win. That's the whole point. And if a person stands up against you as a hater, where you can ban them, you're gonna be the last one laughing, unfortunately. That's so sad. You know, it's just like, it just ends just like that. So now we get to chill and see what she has to say. Technically, a very important thing is to let go. You know, stress while you in stress, however, you have to let the time run its course. And that's just unfortunately true in most situations. Yes, time is usually not on your side, which gets even more stressful. But unfortunately, when stress happens, you just gotta let it happen. You just gotta let the clouds fucking uh, move over your head until you have a clear head to make decisions. There's no way around it, unfortunately. Stress is like a accumulation of some kind of consequence, and during the apocalypse, you're not the problem. You're not the fault. You're not the solution either. You're not to panic and find solutions that you don't need. You're just here to learn. Learn that much faster. So we have apocalypse, right? And the rules change. Yes, L. I took an L, guys. But apocalypse rules change. So while you could have been active, now most days are gonna be stress, meaning that nobody will judge you whether you can, whether you're stressed out or not. No one's gonna care. People will have an expectation that you not living a happy life and you have to sort things out, giving you the ability during the apocalypse to learn 2x, 3x, I don't know, that much more, because you can't live life. No one's living life during this transition moment. No one's living a better and better life. But they can learn better and better skills and grab items that they might need to improve just the basis, right? The basis. And during the apocalypse, you will see things fall apart that should fall apart and be replaced by with things that are more important than the ones that fell apart. And it's just very interesting stuff. Which is why I run this channel. This channel was during the apocalypse. Picking up steam, right? Now it's year number 3 or something. It's much more obvious when you pick up this timeline of 2 years ago. So this is year number 3, right? It's always going to be 2+ years. In the apocalypse, evil accumulates, stress accumulates, and you have to actively fight back and defend your stance. Because people will attempt to suck you into lower levels and make you pretend that everything is going to be fine, that everything is cheaper in there, and all the nonsense, all the lies they will be feeding you. Until you realize that, of course, it's cheaper and it's more stressful to live in lower level places. Anyways, let's see the downfall of this human being who somehow gave in to stress, because eventually you just do that. You're just like, why should I be at odds with stress when I can just give the fuck up? How funny is that gonna be? Holy shit. She does look like a demon already, by the way. She does look like she needs to suck a little bit more.
Disease. Stress into the enemy.
That was good old days.
But I experienced a lot of stress in the previous year, had a 43% increased risk of dying. For the people who also believed that stress is harmful for your health.
Oh, so if you don't believe, then you win, right? The problem is, if you don't believe, you become a fucking demon. And no matter how many studies you do, you get into these fucking weird positions where you make weird ass conclusions as well. Of like, oh, if you just don't believe, like, oh, so science always comes to the conclusion that placebo is the way out. Is that what's going on? Yeah. If you don't believe that stress fucking even matters, it's like, fuck stress. Nah, it's my friend. I belong in stress. Everyone should stress more. And it's I'm sorry, bro. Like you just fucking fallen into the most greatest pit of doom there is. So how are you gonna induce stress now if that's your biggest friend, right? You're gonna go out of your way to hate on people, to poke holes at people, you know? It's like fucking disgusting. How are you supposed to be a friend with stress? Like, what the fuck is this?
View stress as
Now, there's two things happening, and it's not just people becoming demons, but people suppressing stress of like, I don't believe that stress is that harmful. I can handle it, basically. That's possibility too. All right? People respond to stress in very different ways. And again, two different ways, or three, or four. This is where Matrix comes into play. Four magical ways. All right? Yet again, you accept stress the way it is. You don't want to modify it. Well, it is what it is, right? The most important thing is that it has to come to an end eventually, right? So you just kind of relax yourself a little bit more and wait for that end to happen. Yeah, that is a valid way to do it. Breathing, allowing things to happen, and being prepared to strike in order to finish whatever's causing you stress. Because you have to be able to do that. You can't just sit passively and just drink your medication to get yourself numb or whatever. You have to be aware how close you are at defeating a creature that is causing you stress or a problem, solving that problem, getting rich in fucking Russia, basically, winning a lottery, of course. Anyways, the next thing is obviously fight back versus stress, reject it as much as possible, block it. When you find the right weapon to strike with. So there's a yes and no to stress. Does that mean in this case balance is terrible? Nope. It's completely fine. In fact, choosing any one of these is terrible. Now, becoming the bad guy, not just accepting stress, but becoming the source of stress. Could potentially alleviate stress, like turning into smoking and drinking and all this nasty shit. I think a narcissist would do that. Become the bad guys. And then there are becoming the good guys. We actually seek to position yourself where no demon can touch you, basically. No demon is going to feel safe attempting to climb your mountain, basically. Basically, you can fight against aggressors. This is what I do. But there's another way where you can fight everyone at once and in the most ridiculous fashion imaginable. Where you actually knock on people's doors, like you do some crazy shit until people, they get upset. And it's like, okay, time limit? Or you cut them off from attempting to, if you if there's too much cutting off going on and you can't out nice people, kill them with kindness. I mean, you can switch strategy sometimes. I'm kind of excited. And then there's turn into a bad guy and accept stress. All right, breathing and relaxing no matter what. Doing drugs, bro, more than ever. That's that's something you can do. So yes, there's 4 paths, 2 axes to follow. This is not something special. Or you can just give up and just fall apart. But that's not as easy as it sounds because, again, becoming a demon is this. And you will still be a threat, you know, of people cutting you off because you're a fucking demon. No one actually likes you. While being the too good of a person, you might become a nuisance. Who knows? I feel when it comes to levels, you just have to increase level of morality. You're gonna be born with shitty parents, slightly shitty. My parents are not too bad, but they're not too good either. All right, you have to always beat your parents' morality to be able to escape their gravity. Right now, I'm technically improving their lifestyle and I guess their safety. Like if you get improve your parents' strategies, you're very likely gonna go up in life somewhere way higher. We don't talk about Bruno, bro. It's crazy. Brazil is blowing my mind. All right, I let her speak
Is
now.
harmful. 182,000 Americans died prematurely, not from stress, but from the belief that stress is bad for you.
The funny thing is about it is that you can cause yourself stress and anxiety. And yes, technically, stress, again, as I've said, is allowance for you to take it easy, for you to relax, attempt to relax, and demand that you are relieved of all the problems that causing you stress because you won't be able to perform very well, no matter what it is, right? No matter what level of quest you have to complete in order to achieve, satisfaction and ability to live your life without stress. Stress is, well, technically, fundamentally unavoidable, is just a never ending battle. And technically, it's not bad for you. I guess I can concede to that argument. It's not bad for you in a way that it's a part of life, in a way that it's like natural and it's doomed to happen, right? But it's also doomed to stop eventually and be solved eventually. Being optimistic, I guess that's the thing that will save lives, right? Being optimistic and hopeful, and knowing that in history there are ups and downs. There are wars and peace. They're just moments like that across history if you just recognize it for what it is. And so what is actually happening in those moments as well? Who is actually having a conflict right now? Is it vividly obvious that war is not a worldwide thing? War is just a shitty person attacking not so shitty person. War clearly has a winner in the end when it comes to like battles, right? It clearly has a winner. But the biggest winner is the one that gets to avoid the damn thing in the first place. But usually, when war is happening, that means there's a lot of more loose ends, a lot of more bad things are happening across the world, or the shift of focus alone can cause way more problems than you have been dealing prior to that. It could still double the stress that you have felt. Even of all these justifications of you are a good human being, you live in a good neighborhood and all that shit, but it's still more bad things can happen than usual. During the apocalypse, what you are in fact learning is how to fight stress in the most efficient way, right? You're probably just gonna be doing that the whole time. And I get this image of like Kriparian playing the shittiest card game but still pushing through. It is his experience, not mine. I can't even play the damn thing. It's so disgusting. But Kriparian can pull those 10 wins with a game breaking, bug. And it's just like, wow, okay. Through his in game knowledge. Kriparian is the most famous card game player, so it's best that you're aware of like card game drama that we're dealing with right now. Where only one of us can get those 10 wins in a spectacular fashion. 10 wins being like the maximum that you can get to justify your mastery of something. I get 4 wins average and I get very frustrated and stressed. My day gets ruined. What helps me also reveal is tracking data. Tracking data because one of the greatest values of a human being is taking revenge. Yes. That what gives me hope is taking revenge, is knowing that I will be able to take revenge one day. It must be a possibility. I must have power over other people as well for suffering this fucking much, because there's gonna be new generations that haven't suffered as much. They don't know shit. They only know how to be haters. And they still do a very bad job at that in the first place. But you see how like people just turn into the demonic fucking creature. They turn into these ridiculous creatures. They become the fucking gibberish basically. They become the upside down where nothing is fucking making sense anymore. They do isolate you to toy with your emotions. They have done pretty much the taste of all these fucking things. Or at least simulated across the internet that, oh my god, it's possible to do that, and I have to be this type of demon, basically.
Now, if that estimate is correct, that would make believing stress is bad for you the 15th largest cause of death, AIDS, and
Again, what happens in your brain, how you make decisions, does accumulate into the cause of death, basically. We could even talk about this because it's actually a more relevant discussion than fucking laughing at a dick sucking fucking person who doesn't even understand what they're talking about. Because has so many layers of this to the point where, yes, everything is stress. Everything is. Everything is the same thing. Heart disease is stress because of bad things happening. This is like conspiracy theory level of stress where you know that other people hate you. Cancer is hate yourself. So other people hate yourself. These are two big, yin and yang moments, right? What do we have? Like four. So you hate yourself, but in a way that you will erase your memory. You hate yourself in a way that you would take more risks. You hate others hate you to the point where I don't even know what the fuck this is. It's just another heart disease bullshit. And respiratory. Others hate you to the point where you or put pressure on you to the point where you have no idea what to do anymore. And so on. This is a stress of all kinds. You name it, bro. I mean, these ones I don't even understand. But when I was investigating of like COVID, I'm like, dude, that's just stress. Every disease is just stress. That's it. That's all there is. So she could have went one step forward and said that all of this is stress. All of it. That's how much control you have with your beliefs, basically. Of course, your beliefs is what's gonna make, you do different things. It's not just a belief. It always translates to actions and reactions. This is not that fucking simple.
Homicide. Here I've been spending so much energy
Doing, you know what, stressing,
telling
and you should have been doing that dick thing.
change your body's response.
That's stupid. That is so stupid. You can't just change your body's response the way you believe. You actually have to have retaliation against stress. If you actually successfully defeat stress, like, there's no fucking way that you would live less longer. It's just the study's twisted, and there's many layers to it. Like, one layer is what comes out of people's mouths of like, yeah, I believe stress is good. I'm a strong person. It Whatever comes out of their mouths does not mean exactly what comes out of their mouths. Like, it could just say, I'm a strong person, I can handle stress. They want to say that, but they answer the question instead by saying of like, yeah, I believe stress is completely fine. I'm good. They show thumbs up of like, of course, these are stronger people. That's what they're trying to actually inform you about. Today, it's actually 10,000. Stress celebration, basically. We reach that level of stress while venting, just breathing. I have a button for breathing that I click. Has surpassed stress that much faster. Because breathing, obviously, countering stress is more important than acknowledging stress. But acknowledging stress is a very good way to capture, understand where it's coming from, analyze it. Fucking might as well throw masturbation in there. That will relieve stress. Music relieves stress. Relaxing sleep relieves stress, right? There's basic shit. Sleep, movie. This is technically when it's like I need isolation. You can do like gaming, right? Any activity that's not stressful is gonna reduce stress. It's pretty fucking obvious, right? Yeah. Taking distance from stress is a general way to understand it. So with music, you distance yourself by shifting your focus onto things that are not stressful is always going to be a solution, right? Exercise can also reduce stress, but not in the way you think. First of all, it can reduce stress from the future because you're fighting the future demons, you're becoming stronger and more fit, and that could be stressful. It really is one-to-one thing of finding what the problem is and solving it that will reduce stress. You have to always fight it. So it's still a mystery of like, what the fuck is she talking about, right? I need this bonus meme content because it feels like we're just going off the rails. It feels like she was on the right track, but never really deeply thought about it until she was provoked into thinking the opposite. Okay, now you just admitted to be dick sucker at this point. I'm sorry.
Now that you're sufficiently demoralized,
Yeah, I will turn you into a demon
it's time for
with my propaganda.
part 2. The experimenter has been trained to harass you during it.
Oh wow, so interesting. I want to be harassed.
Now, start.
All you have to do is not give in to stress and help it defeat you. As long as you can understand what's taking distance away from stress is, that even time itself, just taking time, you're gonna get sleep, you're gonna escape today's day, and tomorrow you might be in a different mood. You can't escape a certain location. People have options of what to do, right? In order to distance yourself from stress. Also, stress does indicate that something bad can be happening in the outside world. And if it's more local than you would want. Right now it's apocalypse. It's not fucking local. It didn't just spawn next to my home. And I don't have many options. I have to just suck it up and do best I can to survive. When there are options, then it's not the apocalypse. You actually have to actively work on those options that you have. Talk to people that you always wanted to talk to potentially. Your dreams are coming true, but like you only certain amount of dreams can come true at once, right? And that can be stressful too. Dreams coming true can be stressful because you potentially lived in always in a low vibration environment, low level, and raising your level means that you have slightly more responsibilities, slightly more things to put on the table. Detached from your parents, for example, to be able to live a better life, you have to detach from gravitational pulls. You can still help them financially or whatever, but you cannot live with them anymore because that could be stressful. It's just all life is running away from stress. That's all life is basically. So I don't understand where are we gonna go with this at
Starting
all.
with the pressure.
Of course, you shouldn't panic observing your own body doing things. Always remain optimistic is the only best survival against stress advice you can get.
But what if you viewed them instead?
Yes, optimistic. Who cares? But don't overcomplicate things either. Positivity is always better than negativity.
This challenge.
Yes, that you're fighting.
Now
Wow.
that is that pound.
Yeah, to not give in to stress, I had to fight back. I had to take in on a challenge that nobody else is picking it up.
To me,
However, optimism does not beat truth. You have to understand that stress is your enemy. The optimistic variation of that is that you will beat it. You know, that you will break through. You always can give yourself the best future imaginable. Meaning that you're going to be amongst the best of the best in the end. And the stress in the end doesn't even matter. As long as you do everything right and acknowledge the pain. Because we come back to the same thing. You have to acknowledge the pain because pain is beyond stress. Pain is where something has to be changed. Something has to change when pain happens, especially when it turns into stress. So you're the problem. There is pain and you're the problem causing it. You're doing something wrong. Now, personally, I could potentially have a standing up setup for my computer screen. And maybe that would fucking change things. Because holy shit, I'm getting tired of this, laying down. I remember the good old days when I had a standing up setup. And when I rest, I fucking rest real hard. And when I want to exercise, I exercise on the spot. So this is the thing that actually bothers me the most. And it's actually very difficult to fix. But I have a monitor that can do crazy things right now. So maybe, just maybe, I realized it fucking dawned on me that I have a problem. I have a fucking like a stomach ache or like acid ache, but it gets worse when you're just laying on your own stomach. When you're sitting in a chair for too long, every single doctor says like that is the most harmful thing you can do to your body, sitting in the chair for too long. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, I know that, and I'm fighting that every day. But maybe it's time to change something. So pain is not stress. Pain is now actually the greatest thing of all time. Then I mean, pain is your best friend ever because it literally tells you to change something, and there is no other way potentially. Potentially. Maybe the change is very small, but maybe the change is fucking huge and you were contemplating about it or you had an idea but you never put it into reality. And fuck it, maybe that has to happen now. Maybe I have to stand up for real this time. Stand up, dog. Oh my god. He's sitting on his own stomach, bro. You wouldn't be happy sitting here day to day, every single day. The funny thing is, if you cause stress and pain to yourself, you never know in how many ways it will translate into diseases, people rejecting you, and all confidence lost, you know, problems. It will feel like the world is falling apart and what did I do wrong? Well, you ignored pain. Stress is just a smaller variation of that, of like, oh, I constantly feel pain. And pain is not as apt as apparent as stress, right? Pain does not happen that often, but stress of like, oh, the pain will happen. I will be annoyed again, blah, blah, blah. I'll be attacked by haters again. You feel that stress, not pain. When you know you're about to do something wrong.
It
Yes, apparently you have control over how your body reacts to stress. But then I imagine we're talking about panic
actually looks a lot
response versus a collected, bring it on confidence response to stress. Your response to stress can also have a higher level, and it might not damage your body in the moment, especially if you're not being directly attacked, physically attacked. Like, it's pretty easy to just change your belief for American to become healthy. But for everyone else, it will take a little bit of work. Or anyone else who wants to be way more successful. Because American will find love. But that's not where the game ends of life. Okay?
lot. When you think about stress matters.
Stress is 10,000 soon, guys. It matters.
Better at
Bro, yeah, better. Okay. Better at handling stress. Like, of course, stress is always going to be happening. And the only thing you can change is being better. There's gonna be stress of like you have to approach this girl, you have to find this job, you have to earn more money, you have to appeal to this and that person around you, you have to shake this person's hand and type in nice comments to people. Everything is stress. Everything. Especially if you want success. Oh my god, it's strain again. It's strain. But maybe this time it's a different type of train in the middle of success. You know what I'm talking about, right? Success or success? Which one do you like?
because
Because again, there's two choices you can make. You can give in to stress or you can take action. Do best you can of with the tools and options you have. Right now, you're in luck. This is the apocalypse. This is where smart people celebrate because they only have to learn. I only have to learn. That's it. That's all I have to do. It is stressful. It is annoying, but I can handle that. For the first time, I can feel like I've been able to handle these 8 years. And there's 8 of them, meaning that there's 3 more of them and I can even see what's the next year, what's the next year after that. I can even see the future because I'm so comfortable with these years being just learning procedure. As stressful as they are, it is also pretty happy years, But only if they fucking end with a happy ending, because, I don't know, humanity can fall apart, stab itself in the foot, and we're not gonna be happy after those 8 years. It looks like things are going smoothly, though. It feels like everything that is happening in the world is not as real as you might want to believe that it is. For Russians, going to war is just a regular day of going to work, except they picked a fucking wrong job for once. It's just you do wrong things and you will die from it. It's just that easy. And during the apocalypse, you should be fighting stress at the comfort of your home. And when you're done fighting stress, you can continue learning and improving yourself. I technically have plenty of time, but I want to put stress on myself sometimes too much. And I'm the problem. Okay, guys? I might be too big of a friend with stress sometimes. Because, you know, if you can induce it onto yourself, like, you're working hard, keep going, keep going.
Heart is pounding from
It's like
stress.
some idiots go to the gym to feel pain, to literally train themselves until pain, to feel the pain gain moment. But that is just, you know, why put stress on yourself for no good reason? Well, personally, I would just diss on that and I say I have a good reason. Unfortunately, I do have a good reason. Time is not on my side because I'm alone and I want to do as many things as possible. And maybe there will come a time where I will not feel stressed doing it. And maybe all I need to do is just, you know, make a few changes. Who knows? Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you're not dealing with stress. Sometimes you're dealing with stress rooted in pain, in the necessary change that has to happen. So the moment you feel pain, you have to figure shit out first, and then you can talk about stress. This is why pain is pretty much the first episode. You cannot start your self improvements until you understand your own pain. You can't even do shit. With stress, you cannot continue forwards with self improvement until you take a pause, relieve your stress. Stress takes a distance away from you. You let it fly by, all these stressful things. You acknowledge that those things exist, and maybe there's a way for you to stab it in the face so it doesn't happen again. Maybe there isn't a way, and you just have to remain positive. But yeah, pain and stress is gonna halt your self-development and improvement, and it's unfortunately okay. As sad and bad as it is, this is what makes a difference between a high level person and a lower level person. High level person knows how to deal with stress, and low level person gives up. But that does not mean that you deserve a shitty life. You will live a good life. You just live a good life alone. Okay? You'll be happy, but you'll be alone. Because if you can't handle stress, no one's gonna like you. You're in the multiplayer game. You're in the multiplayer universe. You deserve the best things the world has to offer. Accept other people's interest in you. That is the case that we're in right now. I have to repeat that. You deserve the best things in the world. Accept other people's interest in you. So you should also appreciate people's interest no matter what it is. Except haters. Haters try to prove to you that they're not interested whatsoever, and you cannot accept that unless they take a punch in the face. Then that's very interesting. Actually, you're very interested in me if you can take a punch in the face and not cry about it, little bitch. Dicks.
You're going to remember this talk.
Yes.
Self, this is my body.
Wow, it's my body actually.
Release when you hug someone.
You don't deserve that if you just give in to stress.
Understand about oxytocin. It's a stress hormone.
So it's a cuddle and stress hormone. Who would have thought that I would just say words and they materialize in someone else's mouth? That's called dick sucking, though.
Your pituitary gland pumps this stuff out.
Wow, so horny.
As when life is difficult, your stress response wants you to be surrounded by people who care about you.
And unfortunately, there's not a lot of people who do that, and I get really fucking mad.
Only act.
It is a smart video in a way. Okay. I get thrown off by the smart ass moment of like, you try to be a hater. Because some content really fucking stinks. But It's fine.
on your brain, it also rolls in your body.
But there's a main role for this woman.
It's benefits of
Yeah, look back into myself. I was sitting next to a computer. I just can't find comfort, and I know that standing up would not be comfortable, but I would be fighting a different enemy. I would be fighting endurance rather than trying to fucking wiggle my ass into place where I don't feel pain. It's actually deceptive. When you sit, you're deceptive of how much energy you have. And when you stand up, you would know exactly when to rest and how many breaks to take. It's just everything becomes natural when you put yourself in a correct position. I like that shit. And I can watch these shitty videos anytime. But if I'm stressed, I'm not supposed to even talk to the audience. I'm not supposed to like convey information to other people because it's not necessarily a positive information. Also, I'm just exceeding 1 hour limit, guys. What am I gonna do? No! Not the 1 hour limit!
oxytocin
I
are
will
enhanced by social contact and social. You reach
Please support me
out
socially.
to
Again, all these increases risk of dying. People die in various ways all the time. Not getting enough success is death, you know? Breaking up with someone is death. Being left alone is death. Not just failing a task in general can be death. But even worse of like being a bad person, of sabotaging your life and getting caught is death. So when it comes to like science telling you that this is 30% more deadly, it probably affects all aspects of your life, you know?
hope you are dying by 30%. But, and I hope you are expecting a but by now.
Damn, not only a dick sucker. We have to break up actually. I don't like this. This seems like shit to me.
But that was
Shit content. Cringe into resilience? That's a lot. Because resilience would be like 5th level of stress relief. Where's courage? Talking to others is courage. People are hateful towards echo chambers, and yet they are the solution against haters and noise.
remembering that you don't have to face them alone.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you will be left alone. In case your life challenge is sitting on your ass and eating potato chips. It's pretty hard, but you can do it alone, dude. Life's challenges is all the way on the other side of the fucking world. All the way in Antarctica, bro. I'm already living in life's challenges times 10 to what normally people yap about on social media. Fuck that shit. Because you can see they just turn into rats. It's crazy. Anyways, thanks for watching. I am stress reliever. I am a good person. I actually thought the opposite is true until I realized no, I am a podcast creator. You can listen, you can put me in the background, guys. I will always offer infinity of content and slightly variations of style of content. You can then choose to, you know, relieve your stress with whatever you're passionate about the most. And even get the privilege potentially to talk to me. Amazing. In case I missed something, because everyone's problems are unique. I guess except cancer. Cancer is not unique. What the fuck, man? I can deal with haters. I don't know how to deal with cancer. I'm sorry, guys. I just know you have to don't hate yourself and don't let other people hate you. Because those are the easiest ways to destroy your life. If you just let that slide, yikes. If you just let other people steal your heartbeats and let your body rot, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. Steal heartbeats or let body rot. Neither of these things should happen to you. All right? See you guys next time.